Welcome to another edition of Brownie Bites here on YouTube. I'm Daryl Ryder coming here from Cross Country Mortgage Campus in Berea as preparations for this weekend's game with New England continues. The impact that Patriots head coach Mike Vrabel had with Cleveland as a consultant last year is still being felt around the building today. This week is turned into the Mutual Admiration Society while the Browns try and scheme a way to beat them Sunday in Foxborough.
I mean, Mike Vrabel is what football is all about. It's always going to be a team that is hardworking, physical, disciplined, smart. And that's pretty much how they operate on all three of their units. He sets that example. Like, he's willing to do anything. Like, last year he comes here in that, like, quote, consultant role. He's really helping out the offense. And he's running the scout team punt return unit for me and helping me coach the half-line punt. So just, and putting on the whatever the pad is where guys are learning and developing how to strike on punts, stuff like that. You just don't see people do that.
Obviously, he was in the tight end room there for the first couple months he was here, and he and I bonded really probably when we were at the Greenbrier. Like, we were in the same office for the whole time there and really connected. I think we see the game in a similar light. There's some mutual people we've both worked with or know that probably helped, form that bond, but really appreciative of his guidance and, still a young coach. And, he's been in the league for a long time, both as a player and coach. So for myself to be around him was really positive and, happy for him and where he's at now. And excited to see him. Texted with him a few times this week, and throughout the season we've kept in touch. So really think highly of Vrabes and excited to coach against him.
Yeah, you could tell the guy, loves football. He's a football guy. He, he was leading the walkthroughs last year on defense and stuff like that. But he's definitely a motivator of players and understands the game. And I think everybody who's been around him has a high level of respect for what he did as a player and what he's done as a coach.
No, man, I love Braves, man. He's a great coach, players coach. But like I said, that's just the mindset I have personally. I want to be the one that stands out on tape, are you watching the game on the screen? Like, nine is everywhere, and I try to spread that, throughout the team, and, it comes together well as we saw last week. So now we just got to keep that energy going.
Offensive coordinator Tommy Rees has the unique challenge of the top two quarterbacks on the active roster, both being rookies. Dillon Gabriel, selected in the third round, he received first-team reps during the offseason program, minicamp, training camp, and even game weeks behind Joe Flacco. However, that's not an opportunity currently being afforded to Shedeur Sanders in practice. No first-team reps for him, and he's a play away from seeing the field.
Yeah, especially when you're getting one, you got to get a rookie ready to play in the games to help your team, and then you want to continue to develop. The other one's a snap away. So we're all hands on deck. I would say it's a total group effort. Kevin, myself, Musgrave, it's all hands on deck to try to make sure both are ready to play. You have to maximize opportunities, even if there aren't a ton of reps to go around. You got to be creative with how you create some extra reps, specifically to get Shedeur ready if you can't get a bunch of reps there. So the good news is both guys are bought in and doing a good job of working hard and understanding how important those opportunities are, to be ready for the team. So it is a unique situation. I don't know how many times it's probably happened, but probably not a lot. And we have the right two guys mentally right now in their demeanor and how they're prepping and how they're coming to work every day. I think we've put together a good plan, starting with Kevin and then pouring through the rest of the staff to make sure that those guys feel prepared to go play on Sunday. Yeah, I think part of it's, you're starting a rookie who you want to have those experiences as well. So, Kevin obviously makes those decisions, and we talk through a lot of those, and, there'll be opportunities moving forward, I'm sure, but, we'll evaluate that as it comes. I think you want to, as a young quarterback, you want to put guys in really positive situations where they can build confidence and, continue to look for those opportunities. But Shedeur's working hard, doing what we're asking him, and he knows he needs to be ready at a moment's notice.
Rees was also asked about the lack of explosiveness and deep throws through the first three starts for Dillon Gabriel. New England ranks 24th defending the pass, and Gabriel's longest completion is just 24 yards. He's attempted just 4 passes beyond 20 yards.
Hopefully a dry day would help start that off, but we just got to trust it. We got to put him in the right spots to see the coverage, trust what he's seeing, let it go. That starts with us as coaches. We got to put him in the right positions. We got to put him in the right positions during the week to make sure he has confidence in those plays. And then, he's throughout camp, throughout the preseason, he was not trigger shy on that stuff. I still don't think he is. We just got to give him the right looks and make sure that we're preparing him to trust those things and see him and let him go.
After forcing 3 turnovers last week, the defense feeling pretty good about themselves these days. However, Drake Maye and that Patriot offense awaits. Maye's completing 75% of his passes, has a 12-2 touchdown to interception ratio for New England.
So quarterback's playing really well. He's taking care of the ball. He's using his legs. He's putting them in winning positions. He's certainly an outstanding young player.
He's playing very well. He's playing efficient. He takes off when nobody's open. So he's making good decisions. So, their offense is, I wouldn't say it's a complicated offense. They just do the simple things right, and they play hard. So it's going to be a challenge for us. You got to watch out for his dual threat ability as well. So he's a good quarterback.
Yeah, he's been makes good decisions with the ball. Doesn't put it in harm's way a lot, and then like we just talked about, he's able to make plays with his legs as well. And so it's just a matter of, like I said, for us, just knowing what our game plan is and going in and doing our jobs and making sure we have all the communication and where you're supposed to be in coverage.
On the injury front, a little good news is receiver Jerry Jeudy, who missed Wednesday's session with a knee injury. He was back on the practice field Thursday. However, center Ethan Posick, safety Rayshon Jenkins, and defensive tackle Aiden Huntington were not. That'll do it for this edition of Brownie Bites here on YouTube. Thanks as always for watching, and don't forget to hit subscribe on the 92.3 The Fan channel.
First of all, I was soaking wet after the game, so already peeling my shell off. But my biggest sort of error in that is I mistakenly believed that we were in the locker room and not in a TV studio. So shirtless certainly acceptable in a locker room. Wasn't really prepared for it to be TV studio. College friends can be brutal. Men are a lot more brutal to their friends than they are to others. I got a message after the game. It's like, yo, Schwartz, you leave the shirt on until you lose 15. So, yeah, there's that too. But happy for the players' success in that. That when anytime you give a defensive coordinator game ball, it's really a team thing. I didn't play the game. Those guys played the game.
With the Browns in Berea, I'm Darryl Ryder for Sports Radio 92.3 The Fan.